My friends, meet Iggy. But hold on now, this one isn't about Iggy. This is about her, my Act 1 rogue, Debi. Debi has a bit of a bone to pick. All of her rogue mates have flown the coop for Bloodraven, and now she's stuck with this necro dance. Deb, well, she has other plans. She says it herself. She has dreams. This Diablo challenge brings Deb front and center. She is taking evil down one act at a time, and yep, she'll be doing it in all three difficulties: normal, nightmare, and hell. So how's this work? What are the rules? Well, the rules are simple. Iggy is a pacifist. This means he cannot deal damage in any way possible. No attacking, no spells, no damage auras, and yep, even no damage return. All damage will come from Deb. There is one caveat to this rule. In Act 1, you cannot hire a mercenary until you fulfill one of two requirements. You either have to be level 8 or you have to kill Bloodraven. And we can't get to level 8 without killing a whole bunch of demons, so Bloodraven it is. Think of this as a way to earn a smidge of Deb's respect. Other than that, Iggy is basically a walking bone shield who'll be debuffing beasts and demons alike in an attempt to prove his worth as a supporting member of the cast. On Deb's side, well, I have to take the first Deb I meet. For context, rogues can come either with fire skills or ice skills, and well, with Deb, I'll take her exactly as she is. No refreshing the market to get the element I want. The other thing about Deb is, sadly, she's a completionist. This means that her and her best pal Iggy need to do every quest in every difficulty. In Diablo 2, there are 5 acts in total, and each act has 6 quests, except for Act 4, which only has 3. This means we have 81 quests total to get through. That's 27 per difficulty. But that's it, that's the challenge. Simple enough? Well, let's get to it. I start off by creating our lead support, Iggy. Unfortunately, he's not named after one of the Bowserlings, but more that I feel he resembles Iggy Pop, someone whomst I know nothing about. We get into the game, we talk to Warov, and then immediately dismiss him because we have better things to do. I'm showing my stash that it's empty as a little bit of accountability and proof pudding here. It's completely fresh save, so there's no using inherited wealth to make my life easier while claiming that I've got it rough as guts. We throw the starter wand on the ground because I can't use the skill it gives me, and then change the player count to 8. For those new to Diablo, in offline or single player, you can change your player count, treating it as if multiple players are in the game. This makes the enemies tougher, but also gives more experience. And as you know, outside of Bloodraven, I can't kill anything yet, so there's no XP for me. The reason I've done it is because it also increases your chance for better loot. That is what I need right now. I need loot to sell so I can buy gear. I need to take on Bloodraven, so we've got a bit of work to do. Running through the Bloodmaw, we do exactly that. We find a nice rare ring that gives attack rating and maximum damage, and that is going to help a lot later on. You'll see why pretty soon. It was pretty lucky that our first house chest had 3 rares, and I do wonder what the odds are on that. Iggy continues to run through the Bloodmaw, picking up what treasures he can find until we come across Flavi. He ignores her warnings, of course, because he obviously knows better. I picked up a 2-socket spear in town, hoping I'd find some amethyst in all my plundering. Sadly, there's no such luck. In Diablo 2, amethyst gives +2 attack rating when put in a socketed weapon. The more attack rating you have, the higher chance you have to hit an enemy. And again, that's gonna be kind of important. Iggy enters the burial grounds, and we immediately set the player count back to 1. I do not want to be fighting a hulked up Bloodraven. So finding her is pretty straightforward, as she isn't exactly hiding. But she is surrounded by mobs, and these mobs I'm not actually allowed to kill. You can see from this riveting footage here, I can't hit Bloodraven at all with my spear. My chance to hit is 12%, even with that lovely ring we found at the start helping me along. Not only that, but my attack speed with the spear is pretty awful too. I give up fairly quickly and do a few runs of the crypt and mausoleum in an attempt to find some amethysts, maybe some better gear, but once again that doesn't happen. Lucky for me, I'm able to get a scimitar from Chassi, and that has +2 attack rating as well, and I get a poison spear that might be of use, trying to get some dot damage going to whittle her down. We go back in with our new gear, and she seems to have a lot more mobs now that I need to kite around. And Bloodraven, well, she doesn't exactly like staying close, she's a ranged hero. My spear is still pretty useless because I'm still at 12% chance to hit. Didn't really fix that. Poison damage doesn't help to attack rating. So for context here, Bloodraven is a level 10 monster, and I'm level 1. There's a bit of a difference there. Another fun fact about Bloodraven is that she is canonically the rogue from Diablo 1, Lena. After defeating Diablo in the first game, she returned home, but all messed up like. She turned on her sister rogues and got all buddy-buddy with Endario. That's why Debi has beef, which is also totally canon. Finally, I think I've got her cornered, and we make a connection with the spear. It doesn't do nearly as much damage as I had hoped, and then she blocks me with a zombie and runs away, just shooting me incessantly. I nearly save and exit to save myself, but no, I think Iggy deserves this death. After getting our corpse back and trying one last time to get better loot, which still failed, I feel more than ever that now is the time. Whip out my scimitar and just start fanging as fast as I can. It rarely hits, but when it does, you can see a little dent in her health bar. She leads me all over the gaff, and I'm quickly running out of potions because when her mobs aren't hitting me, well, those arrows still do big damage. A little tidbit, I actually did kill one of these guys by accident the first time I tried this, and that Iggy got deleted for being a disappointment to his family. So you can see I've done some pretty good damage to her at this point, and has given me some unfounded confidence and sense of self, but not for long. She blocks me with mobs again, but this time I fumble my way to a TP and get on out of there. Go to Akara, come back feeling refreshed. Coming in lets me kite some more, but this is a very slow process. I've got to get them out of the way and then catch her and then hit her. It's not an easy thing to do, and I'm starting to think, why did I even start this? I start making some good consecutive hits though, and once again my ego is swollen with purpose. I try to get a last hit on her, but that is truly a blunder, and this undead army just takes me out before I get the chance. We go back in and get our corpse, and then it's just back to kiting. Really starting to regret dragging those dark hunters from the cold plains. Then, finally, I see my chance, and it happens. The last hit. The first and last kill that Iggy will get this whole game. This ordeal took me just under 31 minutes. A little fun fact, the any percent speedrun world record for beating this whole difficulty is just over 36 minutes. Now that Bloodraven's dead, we're ready for Deb to enter the game. Talking to Kasha automatically gives me a merc, and unfortunately we get Blaze. Sick name for sure, but not who we're after. Kasha has a pool of 10 mercs at any given time out of the 41 available. You can reset the available mercs by saving and exiting the game. I have to save and load 6 more times until we finally meet Debi, and I think, lucky for me, she does cold damage. With Deb by my side, or us by hers, it's now time to kill some things, and the first stop is the Den of Evil. I get my first level on the way to the Den of Evil and use that to get amplified damage. Amp damage, even at level 1, lowers monsters' physical resistance by 100%. This will help Debi do more damage to mobs as they try to feast on my frail, pale body. Running through the den makes me realize that this isn't going to be nearly as easy as I thought it would be. In the den, and in a lot of areas, there are enemies that can summon or revive their homies. As the player, usually you can just go and target those folk, killing them to stop the onslaught of mobs, but Iggy can't do that, and well, the merc's programming isn't all that crash hot. I have to run back and forth to try and isolate Deb with the monsters I want her to kill. Maybe by the end of this, I'll become a master of the merc pathing. While we watch Iggy flounder around to try and get Deb to kill things, another fun fact about the rogue, majority of the rogues are named after someone in the real human world. A lot of the male devs put in the names of their partners, and the female ones put in their own names or an alias for them. There are even some named after fans. I thought that was pretty neat. You can see this is a pretty slow process. Debi only has single target damage at the moment, and she doesn't unlock her Ice Arrow until level 6. Ice Arrow is still single target but causes chill. When a monster is chilled, not only are they a fun blue color, but there's a chance that they're going to shatter on death, and when they shatter, that means no more being revived. There's no corpse to be interacted with. You can see those bones spinning around Iggy, and that's the next skill that I've been using, Bone Armor. Bone Armor absorbs physical damage done, making me a little bit tankier to keep the mob stationary for Deb to take it. Finally, we get down to the last zombie, and Deb makes quick work of him. Aptly, she levels up from the experience as well. The den is clear, and we are fast to move on with our journey. Now here's where I make a big old foolish blunder. I get a really nice shrine layout in the Stony Fields, and I spend an hour running through these shrines trying to upgrade my emeralds to perfect. But we'll get into why this was a waste of time soon. Regardless, a cool thing happened on my 35th run, and that is that all 4 shrines were XP shrines. That's a 1 in 10,000 chance. It's pretty good. Probably a speedrunner's wet dream right there. Regardless, I eventually remember why I didn't need to bother with the gem shrines and move on to our next quest, saving Deckard Cain. Treebeard, legal name Treehead Woodfist, and his minions lock me down and beat the crap out of me for touching his scroll. This results in another death for Iggy. Perhaps I should be counting these. Either way, now that I have the scroll, I can get on with business. Deb and I enter Tristram to save this old man from his floating wooden home. I think about trying to take on Griswold, but realize pretty quickly with Deb's current damage, this isn't going to be easy. I need to get to the Countess ASAP. The Countess is a great place for farming runes. That is exactly what I need to do. So remember those P gems I spent an hour getting? Completely redundant. And let me explain. Perfect Emerald, when put into a weapon, adds 100 poison damage over 7 seconds. That's about 14 damage a second. When I was farming these, there was one big thing I forgot. The Tal Rune. The Tal Rune adds 75 damage over 5 seconds, which is 15 damage a second. A little bit more damage, but they also have a level requirement of 17 instead of 18 that the Perfect Emerald has. So along with Deb taking care of the quest, we farm the Countess for 11 runs. It isn't that bad and takes me about an hour. This gets me 3 Tals for Deb, along with 1 for me and an Eth Rune too. I need those to make a Stealth Rune for Iggy. It's just to improve his movement speed and his hit recovery a bit. I don't imagine he'll be wearing it for the longer term, just because he's a little bit of a meat puppet in this expedition, and I need him to tank damage. After collecting all my runes and getting a much needed damage upgrade for Deb, we rush straight over to the barracks. It would be rude to keep Chassi waiting on that hammer. Deb makes quick work of the smith, and I'm pretty sure I'm on player's 8 still. I changed it after Bloodraven and then never swapped it back. More on that later. With Chassi quest done, there's one thing left to do, Andariel. Now this fight, it's a friggin' mess. I clear out the room between the entrance and her home because that's where I want for us to do battle. Iggy and Deb charge right on in. As soon as she sees me, I try to lure her back into my arena, but then I get scared and shut the doors. I remember that, yeah, she does poison damage, and I haven't sculled my quota of antidote potions today. So back to town we go, and we load up on Bugs Bunny's secret stuff. Antidote potions in Diablo 2 give a flat plus 50 to poison resistance, as well as a plus 10 to max resistance, meaning you can go up to 85%. And this applies for Deb as well. Each potion lasts for 30 seconds, and this is accumulative, so if I drink 10 of these, I have 5 minutes of sweet, sweet resistance. Enough learning, and back to the fight. If you've been watching, you may notice I have no idea on how to use Bone Wall. Sometimes I block her, other times I restrict Deb, and even Iggy. Every time Deb dies, I have to go back and revive her, and that happens a few times. So why is Deb's damage so little? And what am I doing wrong? Yep, I'm still on player's 8. I remember it a little way into the battle and feel like it's a bit too late now to drop it down. It's a matter of pride, and even if I did, I don't know if it actually takes effect once you've encountered the monster. Either way, we're in it now and there's no turning back. Well, except for every time I need to go and get Debbie. And then it happens. A problem I didn't actually account for. Every time you revive your merc, it costs money. Iggy is living in 2026 and he is broke. Most of his money at this point has been spent on antidote pots and repairing his gear. I really wasn't ready for this. I sell what extra loot I have to bring Deb back, but this is going to be a problem. The more Deb levels up, the more expensive it will be to bring her back. And I do need to bring her back at least once more. Still, Deb is putting down the hurt on Andy, and I feel like maybe hers, Iggy, and my goals in life aren't so out of reach. With one final twang of her bow, it happens. Andariel, our first lesser evil, the Demon Queen and the Maiden of Anguish, defeated by Deb. With all Act 1 quests completed, there is nothing left to do but to talk to Warrior, ignore what he says, and go straight to Luke Golain. Act 2. That's it. Part 1 is done. If you made it this far, have a picture of my dog Bucket. I've enjoyed this challenge so far, and I'm definitely learning lots along the way, both in and out of the game. If you'd like to see what happens next, be sure to subscribe. If you have any feedback at all, leave a comment and let me know what's up. Thanks for watching. Iggy, Deb, and I will see you next time for part 2.